Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Tuesday, May the 7th, and this is a quick hit on the indexes. Starting off with the Dow. So, we had another big day on today, with the Dow up 87 points, making and closing above the 15K level. I saw that on all the little headlines, um, you know, talking heads, happy as can be. So, at this point, you would have people saying, all right, well, they got their 15K print. Now, is it over now? Well, I'm not sure that it is. For one, we're still moving up on most things. MACD, histogram, CCI, stochastics, 14-day RSI moving average, most importantly, and holding high on the CCI. Other than, getting way up here and knocking on the upper Bollinger Band, there really isn't too much to see here. Yeah, we're building a small topping area in the heat map, but it's not that strong of a case. If they make it appear that the sucker is off and running, it has its clear breakout, and now it's going to go, who knows where. Everyone's going to chase, and I do think that is is what they're trying to do at this moment. Going to the 60-minute time frame, how does it look? Well, last night we were saying that, yeah, it's positioned really well for a move down in the 60-minute time frame. Obviously, we're 87 points higher than we were yesterday, and we've had no pullback. So it's still set up that way. When is it going to matter? Well, so that's the tricky point. Now we have negative divergence in the 60-minute time frame that's fresh just from the last couple of days. Does that mean that now is the moment where it rolls over? It certainly could, but I guess it just doesn't matter until it does matter. And I know that that's not very helpful, but we're in a chasing, squeezing environment right now, so it's very, very difficult. Going on to SPX, up 8.5 points. Really, nothing too different to say than the Dow, so I don't think there's any reason to rehash, and there's still room for it to get locked in the upright position. We still have the 14-day RSI moving average having all kinds of room to move. Even if we get some kind of a small pullback, this still has to finish its move out to the upside. So there isn't really too much for the bulls to be concerned about at this time. That's what makes any kind of pullback at this moment not really matter that much. Going on to the VIX. Now here's something that we can work with. We were saying last night that it was a foregone conclusion that this remaining gap would be filled. We had stopped at it yesterday at the beginning of that gap fill, and today it did fill it. So this gap is done. Boom. So does that mean, all right, this gap is finished, that's what it was looking for, now we can go up? Well, not exactly. We have a spinning top today, indecision candle, making a new recent low. Well, it gives the bears a little bit of hope that this will go up. We have a bottoming area in the heat map that's forming quite nicely. But right around the corner is yet another gap that needs to be filled. Way down here at 11.5. So, I mean, really we could have another $1.30 on the VIX come into play to the downside, which would be huge for the overall market. I mean, just massive. And the VIX was green today, whereas the market was green, so somebody's lying. But it would seem to me that the VIX most likely is the one lying. 14-day RSI moving average, all kinds of room to move to the downside. That would easily take care of the $1.30. CCI holding low, stochastics either holding low or pointing down. Going down on the RSI, it is getting pretty darn low, but we can easily get one of these really negative jobbies here. So yes, it has room to move as well. The MACD histogram pointing down, and yes, they have plenty of room to move also. So a $1.30 to the downside is the potential at this moment, and it really wouldn't be a bad thing. Wouldn't be a bad thing to get that out of the way and finished. But we'll see. Going on to IWM for the small caps. This one definitely is playing its catch-up move. New high today, and plenty of room to move on the 14-day RSI moving average. Everything else is getting a little long in the tooth. We definitely have a topping area in the heat map. We're bumping our head on the upper Bollinger Band. But, any small pullback, a secondary reset, most likely will be bought. So the question becomes, well, when do we get a secondary reset? It could be at any time. But regardless, even if we get one, going up to the previous top, about 95, and then bouncing would be completely natural. So really the bulls don't have too much to worry about in that regard. And going on to SPY for our volume information. And curiously enough, we did not get our fifth green on the volume price trend. We are almost right at the trigger line, but if we turn that green tomorrow, this is just a chasing environment. Just a chase. And that's it. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.